All right, you've all been super patient. Thank you very much. Welcome back to our second webinar in our monthly series here at SoCast. We're thrilled to be bringing you our monthly webinar series here. This one, we're working on building your digital rate card and everything your team needs to drive digital revenue. We're going to be focusing a lot as our objective today on reviewing all of the digital inventory that your team should have available on your web, on your mobile app, and on some other digital properties. And we'll even be sharing, we've done a survey with a fair number of our partners, SoCast partners, people using the platform who have been so kind as to share some of their rates. So we're able to give you a range of pricing for each of those digital inventory units. Hopefully the takeaway for all of you will be that you'll be able to go back and build yourself a great rate card. And obviously we don't expect or encourage everybody to go out and sell every one of these elements. Certainly this is sort of the breadth of all of the elements you'll have available to you, whether you're on the SoCast platform or another provider's platform, because some of these are just traditional display inventory, but we'll explain to you how they're being priced and give you a wide range. Some of the ranges are very specific. Some of the ranges are a little bit wide because we've taken a great aggregation of both small single market stations and larger organizations with markets that are large and sort of in PPM markets, etc. So we will do our best to make sure that you have everything you need. Before we get started here, we do want to just do a couple housekeeping things. One, please do not hesitate to share your thoughts with us on Twitter using the @SoCastSRM handle and #DigitalDollars. We'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback and for you to share this out. Also, we will be attempting to answer all questions. We are having a little bit of a technical difficulty with that, but the system will collect those. So if we don't get back to you in real time, please bear with us, and we will definitely be addressing those in a follow-up. And if you don't hear back from us sort of by the end of the day, definitely email me, which I'll provide you with my email address a little bit later on. Before we get into it, always a little bit of note from the host here today from SoCast. So at SoCast, we aim to make digital growth easy for broadcasters. As per all of our webinars, we want you to know that SoCast works primarily and only with with broadcasters, radio broadcasters, that is. And our goal is to help you grow both your audience through digital as well as your digital revenue, which of course is the focus of our webinar today. With SoCast, we have a very elaborate and robust end-to-end integrated content management system that will allow you to manage all of your websites, your mobile apps, your Alexa voice skills, your social media, all through one back end. And of course, we have a very robust advertising platform for both all of your owned and operated inventory, as well as a programmatic offering as well that we can help you out with. So that's a little bit about SoCast. And now we're into our webinar. So before we get into it, just to give it a little bit of framing for you, some trends you should know, and some of these we reviewed in our last month's webinar in great detail with our digital trends you should know. You can always download that at our website at www.socastdigital.com. But very simply, things you should know and be aware of is digital ad spending is increasing by advertisers. Advertisers are looking to spend more in digital, and there is continued growth and reinvestment back into some of the display inventory, native, and of course, mobile app and mobile web spending is really where the dollars and cents are at. And lastly, radio is, having a bit of a renaissance. I always tell the story about that when I started way back 5 years ago with SoCast, and I went to my first conference at the NAB. It seemed like there was a dark cloud hanging over the entire industry, and the sky was falling, and everybody was going to be gone in 5 years. That couldn't be further from the truth 5 years later, and we're thrilled to see that radio is really being looked upon favorably as a critical channel for advertisers, as well as a critical channel in the buyer's journey, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So we do know, just as a recap of last month, that local advertising spending is growing, but spend on the traditional spots are down or flat. Digital is really where the majority of the growth is happening, and it is estimated by many, many sources and studies to say that that growth is going to continue unabated for the next few years. We've also seen that advertisers are really looking beyond just looking for in silos and looking for a partner that they can spend for both traditional and digital in. 97% of advertisers in 2018, according to Burrell, purchased digital and traditional media together, and 25% of the average radio station's customers bought digital from the station as well. We see this as being a great opportunity for radio in 2019 and beyond to increase this percentage, where your advertisers are going to be looking for you, the radio broadcasters, to provide them a more holistic and comprehensive marketing solution. Just as a side note here, we have fixed our questions successfully, and you can now definitely ask questions using the sidebar there. My colleague Lun will be answering them in as real time as possible. If we don't get to you, we certainly will at some point. Another note is that combining digital and radio together drives very strong brand recognition for your advertisers, up to 60% higher. So again, really what it comes down to is radio plays a very critical path now on both sides of the buyer's journey. Radio traditionally drives a lot of search and brand awareness with its traditional spot offerings, but now you can actually bundle in digital to help drive the bottom parts of that buyer's journey pipeline and funnel, and drive more brand recall with repetition of ads throughout your website, stronger consideration with great messaging, and of course with clickable ads and calls to action. You can ultimately drive that conversion back to your partner's websites and even to their shopping carts on their websites if done effectively. So you now really play an important role of driving both the search and the awareness all the way down through the conversion. And that is a unique position for radio that needs to be embraced. Ultimately, it is our thesis that we believe that radio plus digital is really going to drive more dollars for you and the share of wallet you'll get from your ad partners, as well as increased results for those ad partners. So now let's talk a little bit about your digital revenue toolkit and how what you can ultimately sell to your advertisers above and beyond what you do traditionally. First, a few guiding principles that we encourage all of you to adopt. First of all, we believe that it's important that you have intelligent placement of all your ads, and you're creating ad placements that are aligned with the best practices of the industry, some above the fold, below the fold, that you're using sizes that are aligned with the IAB standards, and that you're using creative sponsorship for your partners and bundling many of these together intelligently. Secondly, you should be in full control of your ad serving, whether you're serving it through an ad server like Google Ad Manager or Ad Butler or BroadStreet or any other partners you may be using. You want to make sure that you have the ability to serve as many ads without incremental costs that really don't have a limitation on impressions, as well as you want to be able to have a content management system like SoCast that will enable you to serve some creative proprietary ad units as well to give that flexibility. And lastly, you want to make sure that you have some integration and that ads are carefully placed throughout each of your platforms, web, mobile, social, and that you can deliver ads in those various channels as well. So the website revenue toolkit, first we're going to look at some website ad opportunities. Some of these are very standard to you, but I think you'll gain a lot of benefit from understanding how we recommend pricing these units. So some of the more popular ad positions in the ecosystem are your sidebar and activity stream header, your leaderboard, if you will, making sure you have box ads interspersed throughout your website, both above and below the fold. Box ads are a great inventory unit that you can have as many units as you want throughout a good content management system. Another good tool to think about is a gallery pop-up box ad or banner. This is if you have, for example, a photo gallery on your website, and when people click on that photo, there will also be a companion ad for that in the form of a box or banner ad. Having sidebar banners a little bit smaller than your box ads, sort of interspersed throughout your sidebars or throughout your website in variable positions. This can give you a lot of critical mass of advertising. You can serve a lot of different ads and a lot of different avails so you can have satisfy many ad partners. And then, of course, with the growth of mobile activity and the volume of traffic that people are interacting with your websites, we have partners that are getting 60 to 80% of their web traffic through mobile. It is important to have some ad inventory there as well. One common one is the mobile site catfish ad. That is a bottom banner that stays static as people scroll throughout your mobile site. Hence the name catfish. And this is also a very generally lucrative position. In terms of pricing, we've laid it all out for you. And of course, this presentation will be available to you for anybody who emails us at the end, and we will send it out to all attendees a little bit later on, probably tomorrow or Monday. But pricing for your leaderboard ads, it is generally ad served, meaning you do have to use an ad server like Google Ad Manager or Ad Butler. And most of our partners, you can have a rotation. We recommend not having more than 1 or 2 a month. That will give some good exclusivity and help drive the value of that inventory from anywhere between $300 and $500. Now, I want to stress that, again, the prices we're providing you are a little bit of a range that we've aggregated from our current partners. There may be, you should definitely be testing price points a little bit above and a little bit below, depending on your market size and also what your competition is doing within the market. A big box within the sidebars, those are the 300 by 250 standard sort of box ads. And these can be served either as a single image widget, meaning you can just place them as sort of like an image on your content management system if you have that ability, or can be served through an ad manager. And these are fetching between $200 and $400 a month. We have on SoCast activity streams. So for all of our SoCast partners on the call today, on the webinar today, if you are using our activity stream, that area where that automatically aggregates all of your social media, you can have interstitched box ads throughout that, again, 300 by 250, and those will generally fetch between $150 and $300 per month. They are high impressions because that does generally that is a strong activity center on the website. The big box content gallery ad that I stressed earlier, because it's a little bit lower impressions, you can get $100 to $250 per month. And this bundles nicely with some of the front page and homepage leaderboard ads and box ads. Small sidebar banners, they range anywhere from $150 to $300. These are generally served through an ad server, although they tend to be sometimes awkward sizes. So sometimes you may need to use the individual image widget on the SoCast platform, or if your provider has that. And the catfish banner for mobile web, which is a 300 by 50, generally served through your ad server. Again, we recommend not having more than 2. We've sort of straight stated 1 is a great piece for $200 to $300 per month. And of course, we recommend offering discounts for longer term purchases, for exclusivity, and also multiple position purchases. The blog header ad is another really interesting piece that can be served virtually, definitely on the SoCast platform, and I believe on many other content management systems. It's a smaller banner ad. It's a 640 by 125 that appears above the blog copy, generally served through an ad server. You can have this weighted and rotated amongst various partners. And again, it can appear in conjunction with other ads on other blog pages, and is also a great banner ad to couple with some of your homepage ads to give a little bit more maximum impressions and to drive that repetition. And we recommend selling this for anywhere from $100 to $150 to $300. Again, this is a banner ad that will populate below the leaderboard ad when somebody clicks on your blog, on a specific blog from your homepage. A very lucrative and premium ad unit that should be considered is the website Takeover. This is wrapping the sides of your homepage or of your entire website so it appears on both sides beyond the sidebars. And this can be implemented on the SOCAS platform via custom ad code and generally on other content management systems. It ranges in price greatly from small market to major market, and we've had people who have given us recommendations of pricing for the month, and we only recommend one avail for the entire month of between $500 and $2,000 if you're in a larger market and are the leader or a higher performing radio station within that market. Up to $1,500 to $2,000 is not unheard of. So we've had a wide range here. For those people who are on the SOCAS platform, one proprietary ad unit we highly recommend is within the activity stream, and you can see that in the image on the right where we have the Sask Milk and the Sherwood Co-op interspersed throughout that activity stream that's aggregating all that social media. And these are great ad units because they're very easy to build. All it really requires is a logo. So for those local mom and pops who may not have the ability to get that very, robust creative like Sask Milk has there, and they can just sort of send you a logo, a PNG, or even a JPEG that you want to put on there. These ad units allow you to put a little write-up with a link to the website, or either a page on your website or the advertiser's website. And the great thing about these is that the most important thing is these are a great way to override ad blockers, because ad blockers don't pick these up. So these can be scheduled and weighted, so you can have as many as you want interspersed throughout the SOCAS activity streams. On the back end of the SOCAS activity stream, you can get a report on views, clicks, and impressions for those ads. And these range in price anywhere from $150 to $400. For those of you on the SOCAS platform, we have many partners who are also using these to promote various in-house promos, day parts, morning shows, and even promotions. So these are a great way to augment and build in some native advertising into your activity streams. For those of you that aren't on the SOCAS platform, this is just another reason why you should definitely consider it. Don't forget that the website doesn't have to be just made up of, and your digital revenue doesn't have to be made up of just traditional display. There are so many sponsorable elements that you shouldn't neglect to offer to your ad partners for increased impressions and awareness throughout your website. There are feature rotators or sliders that you can sell, listen live button sponsorship for weathers, polls, your previously played songs. You can have your local event calendars and even have sponsored sections throughout your website. And of course, local listings, making sure that you are selling those, like for if you have a local listing for any school or road closures, obituaries, classifieds, or business directories, that you're giving opportunity to a relevant advertiser to sponsor those. And I'll show you some of the treatments. Some of the sponsored elements we've seen are partners, again, the Listen Live sponsorship, a wide range selling for between $350 and $1,000 per month, depending on the market again. And again, this is a lucrative space because it does sit at the top header of your website and homepage and generally throughout. So it's great exposure for that advertiser. It's probably the number one reason why listeners are coming to your websites. So, it's a great opportunity to sell that. The daily polls, if you're doing polls throughout your website, one of our partners does a great job selling these on really a long-term basis. Generally they do one avail per week, or they're doing it monthly at a little bit of a discount. So we're recommending anywhere from $175 to $300 monthly. Using a slider, or as the SOCAS system calls it, a feature rotator, it's another great opportunity for impressions and to create awareness for your ad partners. These can be placed throughout the site, these feature rotators. They can hold avails of anywhere from 1 to 8. We recommend having it, not serve really more than 8, and they range in price on a monthly level for $150 to $400, in addition to also a great bundle to throw in if people are buying the leaderboard ads or sponsorship of any other elements on the site. You can even build a featured sponsored section on your website where you can have 1, 2, 3 different images. These can be traditional box ads that you can serve through an ad server or using the SoCast single image widget. And we recommend selling these for $200 to $300. And then, of course, having things like your weather sponsored between $150 and $300 per month by, a local restaurant in this case, or otherwise is a great thing to do. Local listings, making sure that if you do have storm closures or severe weather alerts or an obituaries page, making sure that those are sponsored. Obviously, you can target specific advertisers, which is a great way to do that for storm closures and things like that, collision centers, repair shops, landscapers who may do snow removal, or if you're in a more of a southern locale, you may have flood and basement and insurance protection sponsor this if it's more something along those lines. Obituaries obviously lend itself. We can tell you that some of the most highly trafficked pages on the entire SoCast platform amongst all of our radio partners, and we're talking over 800 plus radio stations now. Obituaries tend to be a very highly trafficked page, especially in smaller markets, and there's no reason you shouldn't go out and target flower shops and local funeral homes, of course, or some of the more organic fits for sponsorship of these positions as well. They are highly trafficked, and sponsorships range anywhere from $250 to $700 per month. You can even have your community calendar sponsored for between $250 and $400 per month, and that can also be targeted to a wide range of different advertising options, from the local concert hall to ticket purveyors to local music stores if it's a very music-based site. The classified section is a great way to generate revenue, because if you do have a classifieds section in there, you can have on the SoCast platform at least sponsorships of each of the different individual categories. So for example, if you have home listings or garage sales, you could have those individual categories sponsored by relevant advertising partners. If it's a garage sales, perhaps it's a moving company that you can a local moving company that you can target, or a hardware store that you can target. And suggestions range anywhere from $150 to $400. SoCast does have a new tool called the Local Listings tool that we'd be happy to show any of our existing partners. This is a great way and a great tool for you to start displaying and aggregating from your audience user-generated content around obituaries, around school closures and closures in general, business directories, and of course, classifieds as listed here. Local business directories, having pages here, are also another good use of space and content on your website. These can range anywhere in price from free, that people are just giving them away in addition to purchasing spots or other display inventory, up to $100 a month. On the SoCast platform, we have so many different treatments of these that we can show you, but one of our favorites uses our hoverbox element, which actually sort of turns around as you scroll over it with a link to an advertiser's website. And these are a great way for you to increase, get a few more dollars from your partners, or build value if you do want to give these away as a complimentary item in conjunction with purchase of other display inventory or spots. Sponsored contest, I would say that everybody on this call is probably more of a contest wizard than I am, because you guys have been in the business for a long time, and we know that contests are a huge driver of traffic and of both listenership and to your website. So contests and online contests are highly recommended to drive traffic to your website. This gives you the ability to do themed contests around advertiser requirements. They're great. The uniqueness of doing digital type contests and promotions allows you to get a marketing opt-in for advertiser, meaning when people enter the contest, you can ask if they'd like to receive marketing communications for that advertiser if they check a certain box. Of course, this is completely legal as long as it's included in your terms and conditions, and that it isn't being used inappropriately. But this is a great way for lead gen for your ad partners, in conjunction to all of the awareness and potential calls to action that you're driving for. Sponsorship of promotions can be done through web, social, and terrestrial, and you can also bundle in a variety of different display inventory options in there, social mentions, and even on air mentions and ads. Sponsorships can be made up of both cash and prizes, so they're a great way for you to get free prizing to give away. And really, the sponsorship costs for you to sell these, I mean, they vary so greatly. We've had partners who sell them for, even under $1,000, really all the way up to $50,000 plus. I know that is such an extreme range. I can tell you that from the initial, and we're going to continue to survey our partners, really that sort of sweet spot is really from anywhere from $5,000 to about $25,000, depending on the market. As an example of a sponsorship idea, just for you, something we've pushed is doing sort of a backyard makeover contest with spring coming up in most of geographic North America. These are great opportunities for you to get a variety of advertisers involved for sponsorship. It really drives a lot of different website content, from photo galleries to social media. It gets people sort of engaged and involved. And of course, giving away something like, a monetary prize or a bunch of different Yardworks type products away as prizing is a great way to get multiple advertisers involved. It will allow you to target individual specific ad partners to get them all together, which is great. Obviously, for a backyard makeover, I think it's, innate is who you would go after with home and garden centers, hardware stores, landscapers, etc. And we know that one of our partners has had great success doing this. They've done both a home makeover and a backyard makeover. They generated $10,000 plus for the home makeover with $5,000 in prizes, and the subsequent backyard makeover promotion, they've generated over $12,500 and $4,000 in prizes, and they were able to generate over 860 opt-ins for their partners, for those ad partners, ranging anywhere from 100 to 250, depending on which ad partner people opted in for. And there's a ton of ways to supercharge your contests with adding more and bundling in more different ad options to increase the value. You can do a sponsored blog or local business profile on your website. So you can have the local hardware store give great DIY advice in the form of a blog. You could have your on-air talent do some social media testimonials for that specific advertiser. And you can bundle in all sorts of other digital ad inventory for a premium to help promote the contest as well as the individual advertisers. You could even do a programmatic display ad campaign to leverage external impressions to help sponsors target their specific demographic clients. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, on the Register to Win forum, RTW, I hate using acronyms, but on the RTW forum, you can definitely drive loyalty club data acquisition for both yourselves, and you can actually get those opt-ins for your ad partners. Sponsored content is something we believe we don't see enough of amongst our partners, but we do have a few who have been successful in doing it. This would be like building a local business profile and actually doing a write-up as a part of your navigation as a featured business profile for a week or for a month on your websites and mobile apps. You can even do sort of back-to-school tips around or a specific content around a specific advertiser that is seasonally relevant, for example, back-to-school tips from a local pediatric center. And these are great ways to drive sort of like this native content and to really get some unique impressions and to get click-throughs to those blogs, which you can measure. And what you can do is you can do sort of a sponsored blog or content that you can have written either by the advertiser that you guys can vet, or you guys can write it on their behalf. You can even have some of your on-air personalities do a testimonial as that blog for that specific product. You can have the advertiser do listicles, which would be something like the top 5 things to think about for back to school, the top 5 barbecuing tips as we enter spring from a local hardware store who sells barbecues. And you can generate theme sections for that advertising generated content, as I mentioned. You can also do video and audio segments to accompany the story, even have a live on-air profile and interviews for premium dollars, have maybe that person or a landscaper come in to give DIY tips for 5 minutes on a slower time period, but it's a great advertising vehicle to sort of have them do a live testimonial for themselves. And you can even have it anchored by a shared contest. You can have your personalities do social testimonials, and a great way to bundle it with spots. And of course, these can range anywhere from $500 to $2,500 from our experience. Again, we wish more of our partners did some of this promoted content and local business profiles, because we really do think this is a unique opportunity to get your advertisers involved with and generating content for you, both on air and of course digitally. For those of you that are streaming and have players, obviously video pre-roll is a very high value ad unit that can be served through an ad server. Ours are all clickable. Yours should be too. We recommend that they should be definitely short, no more than 4 to 8 seconds. If anybody's been on YouTube who hasn't in the last little while, you'll see those sort of leader video pre-roll spots. They're really quick now. They are not long. Far too many ads out there that are 15, 20 seconds that will drive very high bounce rates from your stream. So we recommend very short, punchy emails from between 4 to 8 seconds, 10 seconds max. And again, a wide range of pricing here from anywhere from $3 to $1,000. Again, high CPM ad unit because most people are coming to your sites to listen live. There's also on the SoCast platform a premium player, which you are welcome to inquire about, which will allow you to have almost a second website where you can serve an additional leaderboard box, or if it's mobile, catfish banners. And these all range in price anywhere from $150 to $300. They can have multiple avails throughout the player. And the catfish banner, we recommend obviously just a $50 to $150 for those. Nearing the end now, I do want to talk a little bit about mobile app sponsorship. The SoCast mobile app and every good mobile app should have a load screen that can be sold as a sponsorship piece in sponsorship of the entire app. It should appear on the first load. Ours appears every first load and then every 4 hours. And it can be set for a custom length. Again, we don't recommend more than about 8 seconds. It can be sold by duration. For example, we recommend selling it for a month. And this is a screen that pops up immediately after your branding and just before it goes to the mobile app, where you can even promote some of your in-house promotions or sell it as a sponsorship to an ad partner. And I'll share pricing with you momentarily. Of course, having banner ads in your activity stream on your mobile app, the ability to make sure it's static and clickable is very important. These would be small 300 by 50 ads that would be served through an ad server. They could be different than the ones that are served through your mobile website. These are specific to the mobile app. And of course, you'll see, for example, that these are great companion ads that you can sort of bundle in. For example, one of the examples I showed you on the last page for Saskatchewan Lotteries, for example, is also displayed as the banner ad. So great to sort of pair those things so you can actually get multiple impressions for that advertiser using the banner ads. The SoCast mobile app, for those using it, also, like the website, enables you to serve the activity stream promo posts. And again, these are very easy to build. You can have different promo posts on your mobile app than you can on your website. So it's a great, you can either sell it both for your web and app, potentially sell it at a premium if you're selling it to both. And we provide you with all the reporting on views, clicks, and impressions. You can serve multiple advertisers using the weighting feature on the SoCast backend. And one other great feature about this is that these visual ads can be synchronized with an on-air ad being heard through the stream. And this can be triggered, the visual ad can be triggered to appear whenever that on-air ad is appearing. So this is a great way to upsell your advertising partners and to gain even more share of wallet. Of course, there's video pre-roll on a good mobile app. So again, we recommend short, punchy videos prior to activation of the stream. These are also served through an ad server, and are great high value units as well, as most people are coming to your mobile app to view the stream or to listen to the stream. So some pricing, we have pricing anywhere from $300 to $500 recommended for the splash screen. Video pre-roll, probably a little understated here at $200 to $400. We were a little surprised to not see it be a little bit higher, but that is the pricing we got. We recommend only having one of those per period. Again, we've suggested month-long periods. You can break it down into 2-week periods, month-long periods, or quarterly periods. The banners should be $150 to $300. And the promo post can be served from anywhere from $200 to $400 per month, with a 15% premium if you're doing any ad sync incorporated into those. Well, you guys always do a good job bearing with me, and I really can't tell you how much we appreciate it. So don't go yet, because we have a very special offer and some things to wrap up here. So let's wrap it up here. We can't stress enough that we really do believe strongly in making sure that your sales team is equipped with a digital rate card and the tools they need and the knowledge they need to be able to ask your ad partners where they are spending their digital dollars. Everybody is spending digital dollars today, from the small mom and pop shops all the way up through the national advertisers. And there's no reason that as radio broadcasters who have tons of equity in working with these ad partners, that you are not asking if they want digital with their traditional buys as well. So please encourage your teams to get educated. SoCast is always happy to help educate, but make sure they are asking that all important question: do they want digital with that? And even potentially changing that around and even leading with some digital and adding your spots in as sort of the added value if you're so bold. We did start to put together, and will be continuing to develop, a sample media kit for you, but some of the basic ideas and concepts we wanted to share with you in the wrap up here is to make sure that you outline the ways that radio and your station can share the advertiser's message, not just with the spot ads, but including all of the online display and listing all of your different types of inventory you have available, including, maybe some of your unique impressions and some of the data that will be relevant to your sales team to help build the value to that advertiser as to why they should be doing digital with you. This is a very important thing, so you can sort of steal this look and feel from us. Again, a secondary page with all of the inventory and pricing on your media kit, maybe having some examples of that. Again, sort of highlighting, again, you have the choice whether you're going to sell in a large market based on CPM. We recommend more and more moving away from a CPM model unless you're a large market with a huge volume of impressions and site visits, to more of a timeshare, being on like a 2-week, monthly, quarterly, annual basis, etc. But just as an example, sort of this layout will help your team be able to articulate the value of the inventory they have available, so they're not just sort of pulling things out of thin air, and that they're available, that there is a tangible document to share with your ad partners. Maybe again, having some of the sample sponsorships for your media, for within your media kit, as I've shown. I've just taken that page and sort of made it simpler as to all the different examples. Obviously, we encourage you to use the examples live from your website that are branded with your specific branding. And another thing to maybe include in there, if you are doing any programmatic ad solutions where you're doing geofencing or targeted display, making sure that you have a section dedicated to that within your media kit as to how it would work, and some potential pricing as to how that would work. With our programs right now, you'll see in this slide, this is just a sample proposal where we recommend a $2,000 net. We're selling campaigns for very small advertisers from $250 all the way up to $25,000. It really ranges in price for the different advertisers, but there are some regional and national advertisers willing to spend some good money. Right now, most of our prepackaged sort of starter examples start at 500 and go up to 5,000. That's sort of the sweet spot. But again, we'll work with you and your advertisers to really generate a solution, a programmatic solution to target their audience that they want. So that pretty much wraps up February's webinar. I'm always thrilled when it wraps up, but I'll miss you guys until next month. And next month, we will be doing our website smackdown. So we'll be asking all of you and people who aren't on the SOCAST platform to submit your websites for some branding critique, some user experience critique. We're really excited about this. We did this last year, and it was a huge success. That will be our March webinar, so stay tuned for that. As a reminder, feel free to email me, Eric, at socastdigital.com to request a demo or a presentation. We're always happy to offer a free digital consultation to you, no strings attached, no boiler room tactics here. We're friendly, so don't be afraid to call us. I also have some great resources, a digital checklist and a content cheat sheet I'd be happy to send you, so don't hesitate to reach out. And as our special offer for our attendees today, if you sign up with us before March 31st, you will receive a free Alexa skill with every web or app license you purchase on the SOCAST platform, so your brands can not only be well represented online and on mobile and in social, they'll also be well represented on all those smart speakers that are penetrating the marketplace. Once again, please don't hesitate to provide us your feedback. We want to make sure that these are useful to you. I look forward to hearing from many of you for demo requests and free consultations. Again, my name is Eric. You can reach me at eric@socastdigital.com. I want to thank you very much on behalf of the SOCAST team, and we'll see you next month. Have a great day.